Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Kortensia.
I'm also the weather boy for today, so let's see if I can get this right. It's going to be partly sunny skies in general, with only a 20% or slight chance of a brief passing early morning shower, a high of 88 and a low of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Almost to the number, I could tell you what the temperature is going to be like daily. It hardly ever fluctuates.
Yeah, we have standard temperatures here.
I'm not going to bet you, though. I might lose, given my winning streak.
Your streak, okay.
So you must be in high spirits this morning.
I am. I'm wearing pink.
Oh, you're wearing pink. That means you're high.
As someone said, we should coin today Pink Tuesday, because we chose to wear pink today. Look at us.
The only thing that's on my mind right now is a Pink Panther. Now, don't ask me why. Don't ask me why at all, but that's what's on my mind.
We begin this morning with our first local story. Step workers assigned to public primary schools in St. Kitts. This from SKNIS. Several persons on the Skills Training Empowerment Program STEP who are attached to the public primary schools in St. Kitts will benefit from a one-day soft skills workshop that was held at the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions, CUNA, in Basseterre on Monday, April 11th. Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for STEP, Osbert D'Souza, described the training as timely and extremely important. He noted that children learn by observing, therefore teachers must be mindful of their behavior around students. Permanent Secretary D'Souza stated, and quote, "I want to impress upon you that your actions, attitude, choice of words, and mannerisms can impact the very young minds with whom you interact at a primary school. Primary school students spend a considerable amount of time in their presence. Under your supervision, some of them spend more time with you than what they spend with their parents. There will be some cases, of course, where teachers and teaching assistants have to influence the behavior of some of these young children. And you don't influence people's behavior by talking. You influence people's behavior by action." End quote. Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, but he's definitely not a monkey. My former math teacher, so he would know a thing or two about what he's talking about.
Oh, the guy on the
Yes,
screen?
the permanent secretary as well. All right, so moving on to story number 2. This is football. St. Kitts and Nevis women beat Guatemala. This from the Nevis pages. The Guatemalan women's national team lost 2-1 against St. Kitts and Nevis on the penultimate day of the CONCACAF World Championship qualifier in a match that was played at the Estadio Pensativo in Antigua, Guatemala. Lanwa Bailey threw the penalty kick at minute 20 and Jazara Claxton at 71 scored the goals for the Caribbean team, while bicolor discounted Celsa Cruz at minute 48. It is the first loss suffered by Guatemala in the qualifier. Tongue twister there. They remain in first place in Group B with 6 points after defeating the U.S. Virgin Islands and Curacao. But San Cristobal also made 6 points and will arrive with options to qualify for the next round. The Ticas have 6 units and can reach 9. Only the first place in the group advances to the CONCACAF World Championship, which will be held in Mexico, and distributes the tickets to the FIFA Women's World Cup Australia and New Zealand 2023, already the 2024 Paris Olympics. There you go.
So our girls can reach very far once they persevere and keep pushing.
Well, that's it. And you're wearing pink to show that.
I know. God love the ladies. We continue now with our third story. This from Win Media. The William Marcus Natta Scholarship Fund is celebrating 12 years. The fund was designed to encourage, empower, and support many young students and their schools in St. Kitts by providing, end quote, "a helping hand along the way," end quote. Chair and co-founder of the William Marcus Natta Scholarship Fund, Dr. Marcus Natta, told Win FM on Friday morning, March 8th, this year, for our 12th anniversary, the William Marcus Natta Memorial Scholarship Fund will be commemorating the anniversary on Sunday with worship at the Zion Moravian Church, where we will have some of our past Natta scholars and their parents or guardians with them. And following the church service, we intend to do lunch together and just give us an opportunity to catch up with our scholars. Since we have been out of touch in terms in-person meetings with them over the past few months, we meet usually virtually. Dr. Nata added that the scholarship application is currently open and will close on May 1st, 2022. He invited individuals to take advantage of this opportunity.
Great initiative. The anniversary.
So any young person that's interested in excelling
Indeed.
in school and out of school, be sure to apply.
Yeah.
Have until May the 1st.
Exactly. All right, well.
That's it for the local news. We will be back shortly with regional and international news. Stay tuned.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children. Settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes! Mommy, uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami I come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We now continue with the latest in regional news. The University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center partners to mark the anniversary of the 2020-2021 La Soufrière eruption. This by way of a University of the West Indies press release. Consumption stories are set to be featured in a short film and photo exhibition 1 year after the explosive eruption at La Soufrière. In recent months, residents of St. Vincent have been a part of 2 recovery projects executed in partnership with the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center, the UESRC. The first project, a collaboration with the University of Cambridge, produced a short film. In the film, community residents tell their stories of resilience in the face of uncertainty. Residents share key lessons on preparedness and relive the events of the eruption. In commemoration of the 1-year anniversary of the eruption of La Soufrière, there will be public screenings of the film throughout the island from April 20th to 23rd. The film formed part of a larger project that evaluated crisis communication during the eruption. Residents were also involved in this portion of the project, providing researchers with feedback on the information they did or did not receive leading up to the eventual evacuation and eruption. Results from the evaluation will help to prepare local authorities and the UESRC for future eruptions. Interesting.
Preparedness is the key.
I like that they're capturing the thoughts of the residents to go through that as to what worked and what didn't.
Well, some of them have good stories, some of them not so good stories.
Yeah.
But a part of history
Yes,
for the younger
definitely.
generation coming. We continue now with our final bit of news, or international news. This from the Associated Press. Pakistan Parliament elected opposition lawmaker Shahbaz Sharif as the country's new prime minister on Monday after a walkout by lawmakers from ousted Premier Imran Khan's party. Sharif, the only contender, is the brother of disgraced former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, but his election will not guarantee a peaceful path forward or solve Pakistan's many economic problems, including high inflation and a soaring energy crisis. Shehbaz Sharif was elected with 174 votes in his favor after more than 100 lawmakers from Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or Pakistan Justice Party, staged a walkout of the National Assembly in protest. The acting speaker, Asad Sadiq, announced Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif is declared to be the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. The former opposition will now run a truncated house with small majority of 174 lawmakers, which is enough to pass laws in the 342-seat assembly. However, if Khan's followers take to the street as he has heralded, it would create additional pressure on Parliament and deepen the crisis. So they need to not go to the streets.
I gotta say, Ken said
calm.
he was not gonna recognize any other, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that on the news recently, so
wow.
It's one to watch, definitely.
The fight for power.
It continues.
The fight for power. Well, there you have it for the latest in today's news. Stick and stay. Good Morning SKN will be right back after this short break.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am Salt Smart.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask, and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
If you're just joining us, you are watching Good Morning SKN. In preparation for our upcoming guest, Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin, we will be having a preliminary discussion on language immersion. So have you ever heard of this term before, Jamie?
I just wondered if you want a preliminary laugh. We can do that too. we can get it out.
He always makes me laugh. He does.
All right.
So here's the definition. Language immersion or simple immersion is a technique used in bilingual language education in which 2 languages are used for instruction in a variety of topics, including math, science, or social studies. My favorite subject. She got a distinction.
Okay.
So you want to take this? The benefits of language immersion?
Yeah, benefits of language immersion. Let's talk about that. So there's increased understanding. Foreign language study has been shown to increase listening skills. Imagine that. Memory and a greater understanding of one's own language. Well, that I know to be true. Definitely so.
Me too.
All right, let's talk about cultural appreciation. In terms of cultural appreciation, children develop a sense of cultural pluralism, openness, and appreciation of other cultures. Well, that makes sense because if you're learning about things in another language, then you're going to, okay, for instance, when we were doing French, cafe is one of those things that I thought, okay, we were getting exposed to cafe, and I'm like, well, what happens at a cafe? And then it was depicted in animations. I don't know if you remember, what's the name? Madeline.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
The French little girl,
cartoon,
Madeline,
yeah.
with the beret and all those
with
other
the beret,
things.
yeah.
It's amazing. So those let's call them entry points into other cultures came because of language. So I could relate to that.
Just like Dora now.
Dora
the
yes, Diego.
Explorer.
Yes.
Yeah, Diego, yeah.
Absolutely right.
Full of kids. Mental flexibility. Bilinguals are better able to analyze their knowledge of language. They learn that there are at least 2 ways of saying the same thing and understand the relationship between words and their meaning.
Imagine that. So if you are bilingual, yeah, although it tends to be confusing sometimes because have you ever, I think I said it on this show actually, that I spoke Frenchish or Frenchlish or whatever it was.
Frenchlish.
Or Franish. Because I was mixing up my French and my Spanish.
that was it, Franish.
You get the English right.
Yeah, because English is our first,
Yeah, so hey, we're coining words here. It's a new language, Franish.
Oh, yeah.
You heard it here first.
So a wider range of job opportunities. Like I wanted to be a linguist. I probably still can be, and I said I was going to go around the world with the Prime Minister, interpreting for him. So, I'm going to keep that on my vision board. So bilinguals have access to a wider range of national and international jobs. Thousands of businesses operate in more than 1 languages. Airlines, import-export companies, and other international businesses require employees with a second language skill and cultural sensitivity.
No, absolutely right. I see that. I also think that it's not listed here, but I think that in terms of language, it gives you more access points to other people. Yeah. So if you can't find a mate in your own language,
find one in another.
Hey, there you go. It doubles your chances, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
And plus you learn to communicate better, right? Because you have to learn each other. So
yeah, that's true. Definitely. All right, so what are the frequently asked questions of language immersion? Well, here's one. Will children be confused? Until relatively recently, there was a strong belief that learning 2 languages was dangerous. Can you imagine that? And would lead to confusion in children. Numerous studies, however, have proven that that is not true. So we thought that we would confuse children by exposing them to languages. Some of the most advanced children that I've ever encountered are bilingual children.
You are correct.
2 or 3 years old. Yeah. They're doing incredible stuff. Absolutely.
You are correct.
And they're communicating absolutely well.
Look at them when they hear the little hola door and they come out, hola! Like they're so proud to say that they can say something else in a different language.
At least they know what it is.
And I admire that about children.
Yeah.
Do children really learn better in elementary school? Can't they just wait until high school? If given the opportunity, it is better to start children young. There may be a time period where the brain is more sensitive to learning grammar, and therefore younger learners will master grammar rules that older learners will always struggle with. That is true.
Yeah, I agree.
That is true.
I agree. I think because their brains are so young, you can just keep throwing stuff at them.
SpongeBob,
and they will learn
soak up everything.
Exactly. So why not?
Yeah, exactly. Teach them early.
All right, so here's another frequently asked question. What if children don't respond well? While it is understandable that some children might actually have a hard time adjusting to learning a second language, it is recommended to try to wait at least 9 weeks and up to a semester to decide if the program is right for specific children. So you're going anywhere from, about 9 to 13, 14 weeks or so before you decide whether or not, that program is right. Interesting. Yeah. So you're giving the child time
to develop
the language to incubate.
Yeah,
I guess.
And to figure, mama, keep learning Spanish, keep learning French, German, oui.
Yo hablo un poquito español.
Un poquito de español, señor. How does language immersion affect the development of English reading and writing? It is a common myth that language immersion will have a negative impact on a child's language development, but research has shown quite the opposite. Learning 2 languages simultaneously only enhances a student's first language. As a student learns a second language, they learn to understand that different languages use different rules. Learning and understanding a second language helps language learners to better understand their primary language.
Absolutely right. And here's the thing. I think I said it here before. You want to improve your vocabulary?
Learn some.
Look at even if it's just not on the language, but you're looking at like the origin of words, etymology, you'd realize that there's Latin, there's Greek, there's French, there's everything that's infused in our own language. And then you see something that seems just so far out, you're like, what could that possibly mean? And you go back to that base, that root, and you have an appreciation. It's like, oh, that means that.
Look at this. Jamie, as simple as kaputt.
Yeah, tell me.
It means broken in German, and we use kaputt every day, not realizing we are speaking German.
We do.
Yeah. So, so it works.
I was going to give you some German, and then I realized it would have been Turkish. Sorry. This is what Netflix has done to me, everybody.
Viva the rice. So you speak Turkish?
I watch listen, here's what I do. I'm watching a movie on Netflix, I read the subtitles, and I realize that they keep saying the same thing. So I go, okay, good night then. What's that, good morning, I think it is? Good night. Yeah? You guys can help me out here, because you guys watch.
Guten Morgen in German is good morning.
Good morning. Okay, good what?
Guten Morgen.
Good morning. Wow, you sound so good.
Guten Tag.
Convincing. Look at her.
I was learning it. I just give it a little break for now. As I said, I wanted to be a linguist. I just didn't follow through with a lot of my goals, but I'm trying my best to follow through now because you're never too old.
Wow.
So yeah. So like Viva de Raisu, or how was your journey and stuff? Like when I used to fly, I used to really engage persons, and then I got lazy.
Oh boy, there's a joke somewhere there because I was watching a comedy show about engaging Germans. Yeah, flight joke. I'll tell you after. It's a flight joke. Indeed. Yeah, but languages are really, really something else. I'm glad that I was exposed.
Me too.
I do want to learn German. I said it before, I want to learn German. I'm not a lover of French, believe it or not. I'm a what you see is what you get type of guy, so I like Spanish.
The language of love?
Yeah.
The language of love? Oui, oui, maman.
Oui, oui. I want to know how we can say good morning SKN, or you were one. I'm going to try it here, guys. If you were part of the Latino community, I apologize if my speaking is not correct.
Okay, go ahead.
I will say it. Let's see how you say this now. Está mirando Buenos Días SKN en Studio 327.
Oh, bienvenidos a Studio SKN, or
welcome to
Buenos Días.
Buenos Días.
Buenos Días.
Yes.
San Cristóbal y Nevis. Hoy es.
They have no idea what we're saying. Well, at least half of the population knows what we're saying because we have a Hispanic community out there.
We do.
So we thank you for watching, and we'll be back in a moment to talk to you more. Or not. Stay tuned.
Adios.
I'm here to say kids, Nevis, with a name for us I represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols. In a time like this, all for one, one for all. St. Kitts Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface or the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first. And boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mass up, furlough, sanitize. Observe the protocols all about. Be wise. Mass up, furlough, sanitize. Me family fitting boat. And you. Blessed love and greetings. This is Infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kittitian and Nivision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
Did you know that there are certain seasonings that contain more salt than you actually need? There are more natural, healthier ways to reduce the salt intake in your dishes by using natural things like onions, garlic, seasoned peppers, and even thyme and merengue powder.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Has anyone ever touched you here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It is the 12th of April, and this means that today is for 12 days. Oh, this observation was initiated by the Honolulu Seahawkers in 2019 to celebrate the number 12s on a football team. That's fans. Ooh, nice. So the number 12 holds significance in many ways. We measure our days by 2 12-hour sets. There are 12 months in a year. Even eggs are sold by the dozen, which is equal to 12. Math lovers appreciate 12 because it has the perfect number of divisors, such as 2, 3, 4, and 6. Interesting stuff. So in honor of, for 12 days, and Kortensia and I, rather, I said and I must be Whitney Houston, you know, I'm getting ready to sing Unbelted and Die, yeah. Kortensia and I will put our knowledge of 12 to the test, and we will be answering 12 trivia questions. Oh, well, guess what? You know what we have in front of us? Oh yeah, we got buzzers, yeah. Those of you experiencing road rage with those drivers, like I want, well, mine doesn't sound like that, but anyway. Our buzzers here in front of us will be used to signal when we're ready to give our answers, and we have 3 guesses per question. So we're gonna go. Team K, Team J.
Yeah, who's gonna win? Team K. Team K always wins. She always wins.
How many loaves are in a baker's dozen? A baker's dozen, wow.
12.
24? Oh, we got the answer. A baker's dozen is 13.
That baker needs lashes.
Preempted, yeah.
He needs lashes.
No, man, he's giving you an extra one. Just because.
Not cool.
Maybe he's a nice baker. What do I know? Could be a great baker. Can he? Yeah, he can.
And maybe an extra bear claw will work.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ooh,
I'll take 2. All right, so which element has the atomic number 12 on the periodic table?
I don't know. I'm not even gonna buzz. Who's home?
Magnesium.
Oh, look at the scientist right here.
All right. Ooh, you got this one.
No way.
What is the 12th sign of the zodiac?
I do not. Capricorn?
Sagittarius?
Gemini.
Aries. It's my sign. Oh, I knew that and I forgot it. It's my sign.
But you said it after the fact. You needed to say it before.
I knew that and I forgot it. Yes.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Says who?
What is the 12th letter in the Greek alphabet? Listen, I can only count to C, right? Alpha, beta, gamma, maybe lambda. I do not remember anything beyond that. Phi?
No, wait,
Sorry,
wait.
I was supposed to click.
Yeah.
Phi? And I know I'm wrong.
Lima. Ooh. Forgot I was supposed to buzz in.
All right, I'll take her lemur and I'll raise her Peru. I know I'm wrong. It's horrible.
Not foxtrot.
What is that? The 12th mu. I should have known that. That's a physics symbol, but I didn't know it was a 12th letter. We use that a lot.
I never did physics, so I don't know anything about physics.
We get that mu. I can even write it for you, actually. All right.
What? 12.
Corey, read it out loud. What is
12 dozens called? A lot.
12 dozens is called
I'm home.
Perfect dozen or a square dozen.
We're just getting
I'll take a square dozen. It's 144, guys. I got it wrong.
Gross? Really?
Yeah.
Gross?
I can see why.
Why is it gross though? Because it's a lot?
We're gonna have to find out. Yeah, I guess. There's a history behind all these things, you know, so we can always find this out.
Ah. Ooh, what is the name given to a 12-sided polygon? I don't know, a 12 octagon?
A heptagon. All right.
Oh my god. The pentagon.
No, penta's 5.
Hexa?
Hex is 6.
Oh my gosh. I don't know then. As I said, 12-agon because I don't know that one.
Yes.
What? Dodecagon? Listen.
Dodecagon.
So that means I have to go all the way back to
yeah.
school to find out these things. Oh
Or you
my
could open the
gosh.
math book that I have in my possession, which I haven't opened in so long. Yeah, that one too. Does it. All right, let's see. I think we're doing really well. We must be tied, you know, right?
Oh my gosh. 12 turtle doves.
12 geese a lane.
5 golden rings.
That's 5. What is that? Wow. No.
Wait. We said turtle doves, right? And a partridge in a pear tree.
I was going to say 12 partridges, but anyway, we were thinking the same thing. We really don't know this song. 12 drummers drumming.
I can remember the song in
This
its
is exactly what we
entirety.
want. Christmas in April. Hey, why not?
Oh, wow.
All right. Do we really gonna get this? Oh, we have another one. Okay. Oh boy. What is the name of the Spider-Man movie that came out in 2012?
I'm ashamed of me because I'm a Spidey fan.
You're a Spidey fan?
I'm very ashamed.
You're a Spidey fan.
No. Spider-Man alternate universe?
Is that
The
even
amazing,
a thing? Is that even
the
a thing?
first Spider-Man?
The
Really,
amazing
really,
Spider-
really?
Uh-huh.
What?
Spider-Man alternate universe.
Folks,
Wow.
I have officially lost Jamie.
Oh, okay.
I have a big duck. A 0. A 0. 0. 0. Jamie.
Uno.
Tiene
I got
uno.
uno. Okay.
Uno. Okay, okay.
Joano.
¿Cómo se dice congratulations? Felicidades or that's just
Felicidades.
That's just celebration.
Felicidades.
Felicidades.
If you want to know why
Jaime.
we're jabbering in foreign languages, you'll find out in a second.
You'll find out in a second.
We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Consuming foods like bananas, potatoes, and dried peas and beans such as lentils and kidney beans contains potassium, which helps to reduce salt in the body.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Consuming foods like bananas, potatoes, and dried peas and beans, such as lentils and kidney beans, contains potassium, which helps to reduce salt in the body.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Our first guest for the day is Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin, who is advisor to the OAS Secretary General. And this ambassador is a national of St. Kitts and Nevis, and she has made history in the Federation by being the first woman elected as a federal parliamentarian and minister of government. And among many other notable things, she's always been a creative. Today, the Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin joins us to tell us how we all can increase our marketability by learning foreign languages. Welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you very much.
It's our honor to have you here.
I'm very
morning.
delighted to be here with you.
So first of all, in your opinion, what value is there in learning foreign languages?
Important question. Let me start by saying that I'm actually the first female elected to the National Parliament on a Labour Party ticket. There was actually one female who predated me in Parliament. In terms of the value of learning languages, I want to stress that whatever career choice you make, and however you may excel at that, having the capacity to speak a second or a third or even multiple more languages increases your marketability, increases your potential for getting clients who are outside of your main language, and permits you an opportunity to interact with persons who probably you would not have been able to interact with, and offers you a level of comfort in traveling around the world. Sometimes it's good to have a tour guide, and it's good to read books to get a sense of where you're going and what you should do. But how much more beneficial would it be to you to be able to speak to the average man or woman on the street or in a restaurant or in the hotel where you're staying in that language, and to get a first-hand one-on-one experience with that person and maybe build a friendship? You never know. But in terms of international organizations, since I work at an international organization, I want to stress that it is an actual prerequisite for many of the international organizations for entry that you are able to have some kind of command of more than one of the official languages. In the case of the OAS, the official languages would be English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, and you are required to have command of at least 2 of the 4 languages. And I think that's kind of a mouthful. I can say a lot more, but I think that sums up, you know, what I hope our people will take away from their capacity to enter an international organization, which is what I would like to see for kitchens and divisions.
Okay. All right. So what's the first profession that validated your learning on foreign languages, and when did you become interested in foreign languages?
I started immediately out of sixth form. When I finished sixth form, I was just about to turn 18, and I knew then that I wanted to teach. I think back then, our people who got involved in language, who had a love and, you know, had a flair for languages, saw themselves only as teachers, or at least primarily as teachers, and potentially moving on to something else. And so I entered the teaching profession. Of course, I was not a graduate. I left straight from sixth form. I was not a graduate teacher, and I went to teach. But at the age of 13, I think, 12 or 13, I had participated in an exchange program that St. Kitts Nevis used to have with Guadeloupe.
Yes, I took that as well.
I already knew that I thoroughly loved languages. I'd started French in first form and Spanish in second form. And those 2 weeks in Guadeloupe completely, I would say, changed my young life. I knew that it was possible to just, I would say, immerse myself into the language and the culture, a language and culture that were foreign to me, and to enjoy it as much as I enjoyed being in my own culture and speaking my own language. Then when I was in sixth form, we had an opportunity through a Venezuelan teacher, Teresa Tachon, who was there at the time, to spend 3 months in Venezuela. And again, I fell madly in love. I was already by that time doing French and Spanish at sixth form, but I want to say that to experience for yourself what it is to say something in a foreign language and to be understood is a pleasant surprise to you that, oh, I am doing this. I mean, it's not just something that I studied in school. It has application outside of the classroom. It has application outside of the teaching profession. I am living something that I was taught in school that other people do on a daily and very routine basis. They speak French. Now, I'm speaking French. It's not my first language, but I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it. So I would say I had a number of experiences that said to me, there is value
in being multifaceted. And I have taken that not just in terms of language, but also in the rest of my life. If you can do 6 things, why do 1? If you can speak 1 language, why not try to speak 5 or 10 or 3 or whatever? And so I have just been completely in love with languages. As I would have discussed with you, I went on to do a master's in technical and specialized translation, which included French, Spanish, and Portuguese.
So tell us a bit about that Portuguese.
Yes.
How does that fit into those languages, maybe that you know already?
Wonderful. Well, as I said, in the OAS, and this predated my stint at the OAS, but in the OAS, the official languages are English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Luckily for me, I do have some capacity in all of them. And while I do not actually speak Portuguese, it is such a blend of French and Spanish that, well, based on my studies in England, and even before that, I realized I'm understanding what this says. I am not able to speak it because I've never studied it to that extent, but I am certainly able to translate from it because, honestly, when I read it, in my mind, I am reading a mix of French and Spanish. If someone does speak to me in Portuguese, I'm able to discern what the person is saying. Regrettably, I'm only able to respond to the person in Spanish. But I'm just saying that as we expose our minds to new adventures, we find out that we're capable of far more. I never thought Portuguese would have been one of our languages, one that I could aspire to, but as we expose ourselves to new lessons, we learn more and more about what we're capable of.
Okay, on that thought, we'll be right back after these short commercial messages.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and, most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Yeah. I know we can make it. It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gonna be safe. Everybody gonna be safe. One kind, yeah. One people. We are roll up to roll out. Yeah. Cause no man's alone. Do what's right. Alright. Cause I love you. Brother, my sister. And we're in this together. My sister, my brother. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah. It's better for us. Hey, I don't wanna lose ya. I love you too much, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to roll up to roll out.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who gonna support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. First off, we do apologize. The first parliamentarian that we did have was the former Minister Constance Mitchum. Thank you for that correction. And we were talking about the Portuguese language. And I did reflect that we do have some names of Portuguese origin here in the Federation, such as De Souza, Gonzalez, and so forth. So it's actually interesting that...
I think Pereira too.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Nice. So it's interesting that that's the language that you chose to further your studies in. So let me know, languages, you mentioned it doesn't only apply to teaching. How can we use languages in general?
Generally speaking, well, I want to preface what I'm about to say by saying something that I had addressed with you before. We feel sometimes in St. Kitts and Nevis, and maybe in some of the smaller countries, that once we excel in languages, that we're destined only to be teachers. And I wanted to clarify that international organizations, regardless to your area of expertise, regardless to where you may have specialized, require you to come into the organization, even if you're a lawyer, for example, to be a lawyer who also speaks more than one language. And so languages are applicable in every facet of life. If you are in an international organization and you are in sustainable development, you are required to bring your expertise in that area along with your capacity to communicate, to write, to speak in more than one language. If you're a lawyer at an international organization, if you are working in security, remember, very often these international organizations have member states that are either around the world, or in the case of the Organization of American States, we are in the Americas, South America, Central America, North America, and the Caribbean, the Americas. Mm-hmm. And so you are going to find member states where the language, the main language is any one of the official languages of that organization. Mm. So it does not at all limit you to any one facet of endeavor. On the contrary, whatever you would have studied, wherever you would have set your sights on a career, a language amplifies opportunities open to you to increase your clientele, to increase your marketability, and to have a sense of accomplishment that you are realizing your career dream, but doing so speaking to persons from across the world.
So let's get a specific example.
Sure.
Suppose I wanted to be a dentist.
Yes.
And I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business, my own location, but it happens to be in, I don't know, New York.
Yes.
How would languages apply to me there?
Well, where I live in the United States, I pass many business places where on the outside they say "se habla español." It is in the United States. I am sure that if you go in there and you speak in English, everybody can attend to you. But they also advertise in the fact that if you speak Spanish, there is a level of comfort when you come in that no one is going to misinterpret what you're saying, that there is somebody or there are many persons in there who, when you explain what you're feeling, they will get it right. They're not going to misdiagnose, or also the treatment that is prescribed to you is going to be exactly in line with what you say because they understand you. It's the same thing. In international circles, you pass places where they have a list of languages in which they can address whatever your concerns are. It could be that a person is someone who deals with taxes. It could be dental work. It could be that the person is a doctor. It could be that somebody wants simply to trace, I don't know, legal documents, and outside they explain whatever language you speak. If it's one of these, we got you.
And right here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are becoming a multilingual country, because we not only have persons from the Dominican Republic, but we have Haitians. So it's not only Spanish, it's English. We have other little pockets of different language speakers here as well. So,
and I was explaining to you, sometimes because you have a certain level and understanding of one or two languages, the blend affords you a chance. For example, I was speaking about Portuguese, but Italian is also like that. If you speak French and Spanish, you can make out something of Italian. I'm not saying that you are adept, that you're like, the cat's meow in that language, but certainly because you have a mastery of the rules that apply to certain languages, you are positioning yourself to better pick up on other languages, especially the Romance languages. So, languages are a thing. They are in vogue. It is my desire, I'm in no decision-making capacity, and I do not speak on the behalf of the OAS today. I'm speaking in my own personal capacity, but I would so love for our people to understand that the value of being bilingual, at least, certainly multilingual. And also to try to learn the proper way to speak the language, because it is possible that you learn what is called a street language, which is fine, but it won't get you into an international organization. If in the interview you're going to be asked at least one question to demonstrate that you do in fact have mastery of the language, and you have to be able to utilize the proper grammatical rules that would demonstrate that you know what you're saying. And so I would encourage mastery using means that would teach you proper grammar, proper structure, and appreciation for all of the rules that apply.
Ambassador, we are not going to let you leave here today without speaking a bit about the fact that you are creative. And you have published in that capacity, and you have been in different fora in that capacity. And so one of my early memories when I first went to work for government is going to an event where you did the vote of thanks. And it was art. You mentioned each specific performance, and then you mentioned a bit about it with such flair, quite artistically. And of course, when I did my vote of thanks the next time, I copied that formula. Tell us a bit about that. Is it that you are, is it hereditary for you, or is it that you are just naturally on your own
I'm going to have to give credit for this to every Caribbean person. And included in that mix would be my grandmother. I think by nature, Caribbean persons are storytellers. When I was helping young ladies for Miss St. Kitts and other competitions, I would tell them, you want to see drama? Stand up outside the market one day and just quietly watch everybody speaking to everybody else. It is carnival. You stand, you don't have to say anything. People are in there like this. And you're not hearing necessarily what they're saying, but reading their body language, you can see that we are storytellers. So I would say in my particular case, and I'm very proudly a Sandy Pointer, I grew up in what people from Bastille like to call the country, which we call a town. I grew up in Sandy Point. And I had the eye to, I would say, imbibe everything I saw. I mean, the cock crowing was a story for me. And so in terms of what I do now, I would say I am an artist working in an international organization as the advisor to the Assistant Secretary General, because for me, I am an artist first and foremost. So I give credit to my environment. I give credit to the people who are so colorful and so attuned to what's happening. And I give credit really to life in a region that speaks a cultural language all of its own. Yes. If you drink that in, what comes out of you is art.
And I understand it's not just oratory. I understand you make soaps.
I make soaps and I make body oils. I have pledged to learn something absolutely new every year, or to do something new. Mm-hmm. And about 2 years ago, I started making soaps and oils. And this year, I tried for the first time acupuncture. Every year, I try something new. Okay. So, yes.
Lovely. Any final words for us?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I want to thank you for this opportunity, Studio 327. Mm-hmm. I want to say that it is my aim to reach out to as many young persons as possible to encourage language learning. It is a bridge. It is a bridge to growth and development. It is a bridge to self-sufficiency. It is a bridge to tourism. And I want you all to understand that it's not boring. In fact, it is a tool that can take you places in whatever field of endeavor you choose. And so my story is always, do not settle for where you are. Keep growing, keep learning. And one way to do that is through language acquisition.
Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Ambassador.
My
and
pleasure.
It was our pleasure having you here on Good Morning SKN.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after these short messages.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It is time to loosen up. Our discussion for today will be continuing our theme of languages. English is commonly referred to as the universal language. Why? It is an official language in 57 countries in the world, as well as the official and native language of others. Among these 57 countries, English is also a primary language in 20 others. In some countries, it is even spoken when different tribes need a common language to communicate with each other.
All right, so let's start our discussion from the business perspective. Again, the most common language for business transactions is still English, even though I have trouble expressing myself today for some unknown reason. Anyway, what would you say is the next most common language used for businesses and why?
I would say Spanish.
You think so?
I think that's the second most used language, then French.
That's interesting.
Or is it the other way around? Or do you have something to inform me
about? We're going to inform our viewers soon enough, but in terms of business transactions, English, definitely. Look at you, got a reaction, got a jolt, guys. Yeah, English for business transactions, definitely I could see it, but I think that the gap is being closed somewhat because people are understanding that you can express yourself in different languages and it's okay. I think we've moved from a time, I hope we've moved from a time when people were like, well, if you don't speak English, then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You know those sorts of people? Those sorts of people who say, hey, you moved to my country, you gotta learn to speak English. We've seen a video or two about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Or you're not. Or that how you say it? In the local colloquial thing.
In the local colloquial, oh. I got it. I wasn't even talking about here, but you are absolutely right because we have a growing population of, Asian European people here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes.
Central American even.
Yes.
Right, in Latin America. So, hey, it's a thing. We're multicultural.
Yeah, multilingual. Look at us. Fancy.
I gotta tell you though, I enjoy speaking with business. I enjoy speaking with the Latino community in their language. Like my tailor, I went to him a couple of months ago and he didn't know that I spoke a little Spanish. So he's here having a conversation. I'm like, in my Spanish, because I remember a few things from high school. And he's like, ooh, you speak Spanish. And he was just so delighted because I think he's always trying to communicate in English because it's expected.
Yeah.
But if you can reach people where they are as well, it would be good and it shows some mutual respect. So that's my take on it.
I think persons of other language are often blown away when they see someone that is not of their ethnicity speaking their language.
Yeah,
They're like,
absolutely.
He did that?
Yeah.
Imagine if he spoke Chinese.
Ciao bao. Here we go.
Mandarin.
That's all I know.
Closest. Or ni hao.
Ni hao. Well, yeah, that one too. All right, so you're going to give us a rank. Yes, Kortensia, guys, is going to give us the rank of languages spoken in the world.
So, English, 20.77%. I cannot believe Chinese is the next language that we do business in. Oh my word, so I need to go learn some Chinese. 19.4.
You see that?
19.64%, sorry. And then the third is Spanish that I had at second.
Yeah.
6.04%. And then Arabic. I would have never thought. I guess that is because of the UEA?
Yeah, UAE.
Oh,
yeah.
5.25. Wow.
Yeah, you see that. So I'm going with the world's population here because if you notice it, China, they're populated. It's a populated place.
And they're popular.
And they're good in technology and lots of other things. They're great in manufacturing. So it makes sense for them to be closing the gap on English.
And no pun intended or no offense intended, but almost everything is made in China.
I love the way you said that. I'm sorry. You're right. You look at the label and it literally reads made in China.
Everything is made in China. Even if they bring it or import it into their countries and then affix their insignia, it was assembled in China.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We've talked about that. Technology is something else. So yeah, we use it for business. It's amazing to me. And like I said, I love the fact that people are now embracing the fact that it's okay to learn other languages because I think it's a window into another culture as well.
Yes.
So yeah, we don't need to be like we're dominating the world because we speak English. Yeah, nah.
We need to, and I'm happy now that we are getting the kids into it at a young age with whatever. We have them watching, be it young Einsteins, Dora, Diego. You know, if Madeline could come back.
Yes,
we have the best cartoons.
Madeline, the beret, absolutely. I kind of speak prehistoric too because I love Fred Flintstone. Just kidding. I speak yabba dabba doo. That's the language, right?
English with a little yabba.
Yabba dabba yabba dabba doo. Yeah, there you go. It's amazing to me the way that language has developed. Language continues to evolve because even though we speak of English, I think that there are, I don't want to say different versions, but I say different dialects perhaps, and my English teachers would correct me, so feel free to leave a comment if you need to. But yeah, definitely, because when I think of Ebonics, same thing. You get into that environment, you're immersing in that culture, so you're not going to be like, you know, the window on the wall is, it's not going to work,
It's
right?
the window on the walls.
Window to the wall. Okay, here we go. And there was a Chris Rock joke in there because I saw him do that. But hey, we're off of Chris Rock today. We're keeping things.
We will not be speaking.
We
will not be speaking of
Oscar has demanded that we don't. We're sticking to the languages. All right. I hear you, Oscar. I hear you. All right. So if you were to become fluent in another language, I know that you already said German, but would you pick another one?
Maybe Chinese now.
Oh, okay.
Because then I want to go do business.
You
How
want to
about
go
that?
do business?
Chinese.
I'm strange. I said German because I like, there's a certain element of exclusivity in these parts of the world, and I think it's important to tap into cultures that we don't ordinarily interact with in a certain way. So because I know that there are many people doing Spanish or French and they're good in conversation, I'd go the opposite direction.
And we should, because we do have German tourists gracing our shores from the cruise ships. And that was another reason, since I worked in tourism back then, or I should say I began my career in tourism, that was another reason why I took up German. Ooh,
so you're going to be, guys, Kortensia is going to be showing us pictures of your tour to Germany. You're going to be meeting the Chancellor, and you're going to be communicating, hey.
How about I and you and Good Morning SKN, we all go to Germany?
We have Good Morning Germany? Is that what we're going to do? Good morning.
By way of SKN.
Or Good Morning SKN live from Germany. Is that
live from Germany, yeah.
We're still waiting to do Good Morning SKN live from Nevis, so it might be a while.
Yeah. Soon. We're coming. Look out for us.
Imagine that, we're coming. Yeah, with the language. Can you chant it? I'm going to do my yabba dabba. You're going to do good night. No, that's Turkish. You see, I'm getting my signals crossed.
You're mixed.
Doesn't work for kids though. Kids are more resilient than that.
Is good night in German. Guten Abend is good evening.
Woo.
Guten Tag, hello, good morning. Yeah.
Yo no comprendo qué estás diciendo.
Yo hablo solamente español.
Estoy mirando. Buenos días, SKN and Studio 307. INC.
Okay, so how do we say?
How does that work?
Regresamos después. Los comerciales.
Okay, this is me telling you that I do not understand la palabra español regresamos. I do not understand that word in Spanish, okay? That's what I'm saying. And by the way, if you're speaking a foreign language, always know how to say that you do not understand, all right? There you go.
No comprende.
Yo no comprende.
Okay, stay tuned. We will be right back with Chiara Flanders.
You understand that, right? Yeah.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gonna be safe. Everybody gonna be one kind, one people. We are roll up to roll out. Cause no man's alone. Do what's right. Cause I love you. And we're in this together. My sister, my brother. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah. It's better for us. Hey, I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to roll out.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get Salt Smart.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes.
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Now, before the break, I said Chiara Flanders. Sorry, folks. We have the privilege of having the Cricket Association. So recently, the St. Kitts Cricket Association received a donation of 3 advanced bowling machines from Cricket West Indies, the CWI, as part of the legacy from hosting group stage matches of this year's ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup. Today, we are joined by 3 members of the St. Kitts Cricket Association. President, Mr. Dennis Phillip, who is also the Vice President of the Leeward Islands Cricket Association. Carleen Delaney, Vice President of the St. Kitts Cricket Association, and Mr. Anthony Rollins, Treasurer of the St. Kitts Masters Cricket. Welcome, lady and gentlemen, to Good Morning SKN. Good morning. Good morning. And we're all well today, I hope. Yeah. Oh, all right.
Well, you should be reading cricket, so yeah, we are.
So you folks just received 3 new bowling machines. Anyone can answer. So can you tell me, how will the bowling machines help with the advancement and training of cricket?
Good morning again. First of all, thank you for being here. These bowling machines are something that we have always longed for. And we haven't received or had any bowling machines since 2007. So the ones that we would have had before, which were staged at the Cricket Academy, those would have been somewhat obsolete at this point. The SKC went on to buy just 1 bowling machine in around 2018. That's for a junior. So in receiving 3 of these bowling machines, it certainly is with great gratitude, we accepted them, and they will be utilized will be used at the St. Kitts Cricket Academy, which is basically on the verge of rebirth, so to speak. And the other one would be at our more or less headquarters, which is at the Connery Cricket Center, and will be shared with other venues around the island. But ideally, bowling machines are used to assist particularly batsmen, of course, because you can go, 2 persons can practice, one that puts the ball in the bowling machine and the other one who bats. So it basically encourages 2 persons to show up at any point with access to the bowling machines and utilize them for batting purposes. So we really are happy for them. We certainly would like to see some more, because as I indicated, 1 will be shared with some other 3 or some other 5 venues. So that's it, basically.
Well, this is definitely the place to make that known. So.
Yeah.
Good use of time. Certainly good use of time. Right, so you mentioned the St. Kitts Cricket Academy. For someone like me who shamefully, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Grandma, doesn't really follow cricket that much, in terms of, the structure of that academy and who you cater to, what can you tell us about the organization itself?
The Cricket Academy has been around for many years. It's called the Len Harris Cricket Academy. It's basically been funded initially through the Carib Breweries. And over the years, obviously, because it's on government property, the Ministry of Sports has more or less helped to manage it. It did have a lapse, so to speak, in terms of the output from it. And St. Kitts Cricket Association, who has been plugging for rebirth. And so the rebirth has come where we now have a new board of directors and new initiatives in terms of programs, etc. Currently, we have all the 19 females practicing there on Mondays and Wednesdays. Vice President will give you a further update on the females. But it will be utilized for a lot of the youths and basically players that have been identified by the St. Kitts Cricket Association that need particular assistance and skill training. So that's the plan at this point.
Okay, so Carlin, can you give us an update on the female team, as Mr. Phillip would have mentioned?
He did mention the under 19. Currently we have about 10, it's a small group because, 10 under 19 females in training. We have a couple of seniors. So you could say we have about 16 females in training. Yes, Monday and Wednesdays they're at the Cricket Academy. And on Saturdays we are at Connery Cricket Center doing training as well. The under 19 is currently in training. Tournament should be happening sometime in July, early July, under 19 regional tournament. And Leewards, the Leeward Islands, as Mr. Phillips said, he's the vice president of Leeward Islands Cricket Board. The Leeward Islands is trying to make their first under 19 female team. The Leewards doesn't have that. All the other territories in the region has that. 2016, I go back a bit, we had our first Leeward Islands senior female team as well, where the Leeward Islands was able to participate in a regional women's tournament in 2016, first time ever. So we are always at the back end.
Hopefully
we're trying to go
forward.
Yes, right? So that's what's happening right now. But due to COVID, this should have happened since 2019, the tournament. But due to COVID, things was pushed back. So now they're trying to get this tournament up and running.
All right, so Mr. Rollins, with all the momentum that we've been hearing about in cricket, is there anything else you want to see? Is there something that you're really happy about?
Yes, I'm happy that the St. Kitts Cricket Masters, which is a group of cricketers 40 and over, and our purpose is to keep the cricket alive. So that tournament started way back in 1996, but St. Kitts only joined in 2002 because it started with 3 gentlemen, one from Anguilla, one from Nevis, and one from St. Martin. So every year that we go to a different country and we have the Masters tournament. So we try to keep cricket alive, so the older folks them that had made St. Kitts before, that they'll be able to continue playing cricket so the younger ones can see exactly the Stuart Williams and the Luther Kelly and the Vic Teddy, and those persons who was great in the time, so they could still continue playing cricket.
I like that. My cousin, he's about 13 years old, and he is a lover of sports, and he says that he wants to play for the West Indies. So I'm watching him. He's in that age range, so maybe you'll come across him soon enough.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. More Good Morning SKN and Flash. Stay tuned.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
We are all in this together.
If you gradually use less salt, you will gradually want less salt. Eating less salty foods will reduce your cravings for salty foods. Let's get salt smart.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are speaking with President of the St. Kitts Cricket Association, Dennis Phillip, who is also the Vice President of the Leeward Islands Cricket Association. Also, we have Carleen Delaney, Vice President of the SKCA, and Anthony Rollins, Treasurer of the St. Kitts Masters Cricket. Treasurer, you're controlling the purse strings. All right.
The purse strings, I love it.
Right. So, can we get a summary of the recent Cricket Super 50 Overs tournament?
The current Super 50.
Aha, so it's current, not recent.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
stand
not
corrected. Yes, please.
We are in our 4th week of cricket. Basically, we have just restarted cricket after being off for probably 2 years because based on COVID and all the protocols you would have had to go through. So we started with 50 over, and that's being played amongst 4 teams. We're playing at 2 venues every weekend, every Sunday. Because it's 50 overs, it's done on a Sunday where even if you're working, you're likely to be off. And so that is, it's growing. Like it says, we've completed our 4th week this weekend, the past weekend, and the crowds are beginning to come back slowly. So we're hoping to see, cricket really back on the rise, like every sport that has been locked down.
I have to ask though, in terms of the resurrection of the sport, there must be something more that this brings to you all as members of the association, some sort of satisfaction. So what is it for each of you?
Well, the satisfaction and one of the goals primarily is that St. Kitts has never had a player on West Indies. We have been close. We have had, we have not had the Godfather type or we have had the talent. And but there's some little issues which we can discuss here that basically keep some of our players from there. They get to the top, and there's that other level which they need to take them a little further. And a lot of it has to do basically not just the skill. Cricket right now is not just about skill, it's all about all the other aspects of the game, the thought process, etc., etc. And so we're actually working on our focus basically is to target the youth. Now, my good friend, Mr. Rollins, spoke about keeping cricket alive. I think they're keeping themselves alive. But we want to focus. We are focusing more on the youth. Some of our, while I'm on it, some of those problems that we have, though, obviously boils down to finance, getting all of the funding. But we have basically developed done a development plan, which, like I said, focuses on youth, and we're just seeking funding right now. And we have had we're looking at some fairly good avenues, prospective avenues that we will be able to do that. So there's hope, and they have just now we ought to be seeing, I think by May, late May, we will be seeing an under 15 league. Which we had 2019, 2020 we had that tournament, and to see all the parents involved and the kids being there every Saturday, it really was exciting. And unfortunately we lost that momentum based on COVID, and so we're hoping to restart. Yeah.
Oh, we'll be well. We will beat COVID. We definitely
yes, definitely. Yeah.
So there was a recent CPL cricket press release concerning retaining some players on the national team. What can you tell us about that?
Well, retaining those players, it's public knowledge. But as far as the future and the further selection of other players, we, as St. Kitts Cricket Association, really do not have that insight or that participation in selecting.
Okay.
We have put out forms where persons here, top players, can apply basically to the Patriots,
Okay.
and see if the statistics allow them to be selected. From a personal standpoint or opinion, I honestly don't see any new or any additions this year, except possibly keeping the ones that who had the opportunities last year. As an example, you have Michael Louis, you have Jeremiah Louis, persons like that likely to be back in there and given another opportunity. So we're looking forward to that. Other than that, we're just hoping that sometime in the future, in time for the following CPL, we may have somebody or persons knocking on their door.
All right, I'm glad that you mentioned Jeremiah Louis. I remember him when he was in school, and to see that he is. And he wasn't that young either. He was about 16 or so, but to see that he's continuing in the sport, that's great, actually, that you can even mention his name here. All right, so in terms of the marketability of cricket in general, question comes to you as to whether you think longer series of cricket is more marketable as opposed to the shorter matches, the 23 matches. Any takers? Or would you just have them all? Or you open the floodgates and say, we'll take what we get?
I would say the populace here on Ireland is more for the shorter version of the game. For the longer version of the game, you have to take people who are passionate about cricket. To be really involved.
I can't dispute that, to be honest with you.
But I definitely understand from watching cricket, like even the IPL now, because my husband is an avid cricket fan, and I watch it with him sometimes, and it's way more fun. Yeah, it's exciting than the Test series.
But you have to be involved in cricket to enjoy.
It certainly is more fun, definitely. But one of the points that you have to understand is that in order for you to become a great cricketer, you have to go to the long format in most cases, and that is something that is still being discussed internationally, because many of the big teams, countries are saying, or individuals are saying, hey, the long version, they don't want to be part of it. But in order for you to become a real solid good batsman or bowler, you ought to be playing the long version.
So there are no shortcuts, just for spectators.
It shouldn't be shortcuts.
Only for spectators. All right. So we want to thank you for coming by and sharing with us here on the Good Morning SKN. It's been a delightful conversation. Thank you for letting us know what's going on the landscape of cricket. And we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
You can lower your salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me go!
Let go what? Yeah, let's see what really happened. Let go what? Watch them out with me now.
Every day mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492. Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are Salt Smart.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am Salt Smart.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get salt smart.
It is spring season. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It is spring season for farmers. This is typically when new crops are planted for the year ahead. Additionally, agriculture includes livestock and fisheries. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources here in the Federation will be hosting an Agri-Easter night market tomorrow, April 13. To tell us about this, we are joined by Ciara Flanders, head of the Media and Communications Unit of the Department of Agriculture, and Petula Huggins, Fisheries Officer of the Department of Marine Services. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome back.
Yes,
welcome back.
Yes.
No
Welcome,
stranger.
Petula.
I'm no longer a stranger.
No longer.
Among friends here. All right, so let's talk. Why the night market?
I mean, why not, right? It's the night market. The night market really is supposed to help to remind us of the importance of the Bastia public market. And, you know, usually we say just the public market, but we also have the Sandy Point public market as well there in Sandy Point. And we're trying to just venture out from having all of the vendors you know, who supply their local produce, their fruits and vegetables, you know, organically, of course, their fresh meats and fresh fish. We want all of those vendors who usually ply their trade and who have been doing it in the past on the streets to get the crowds and the recognition that they've so been looking forward to, and we're putting them all in these places. So it's really exciting that this particular event helps to do that. And this is actually our second time having the Easter night market. So yes, we're excited.
So the first one worked, you're going back.
Absolutely.
If it works,
absolutely.
you got it.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So what type of vendors can you tell us will be present at the market?
The vendors, we have vendors in abundance. We have vendors who are going to be supplying fresh meat. So if you want your meat fresh, this is the place to be.
Fresh.
Fresh, yes, definitely. We also have fish, which we'll go into later on, but of course we have fish vendors as well. Yes, we have persons who are actually going to be supplying your local eggs. There's no need for us to be importing eggs, you know, because we have persons on island who provide their own eggs. And if I don't have my local egg, it just doesn't taste the same.
Oh, I love the way you're selling it, Sharon.
It just doesn't taste the same. You know, you could tell the difference, you know, having scrambled eggs in the morning that was locally produced. You feel spiffy, you know?
I was wondering if Petula likes eggs. Do you
I don't think so. I think she's sticking to the fish.
Okay, wow, okay,
yes. But I mean, absolutely. We have so many different vendors. We have, and one of the favorites, of course, a crowd favorite, is the conky. We have someone who's going to be producing delicious, tasty conky.
It's Easter after all.
She can't wait. Come on, it's watering already.
You know, I know. And the black pudding, the black pudding is also going to be available for sale. We also have vendors who are going to be making the sweet potato pudding.
Oh boy.
It's not a night market if we don't have sweet potato pudding.
Wow.
What's the point? Yeah.
I got you. Guys, you need to hop on a plane if you're overseas. Sorry.
And come home.
Yes. We have the coconut. I mean, we've been talking a lot about it. The coconut itself, we made a joke. I don't know if you've seen our Facebook page on the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources Facebook page, but one of the things that we kind of joked about recently was the fact that it's not really Easter if you don't have coconut grating. You could always tell when it's getting close to Easter because a lot of coconuts are purchased for grating, you know, for your dumplings. I mean, what's a dumpling if it doesn't have coconut in it?
Actually, it's not a dumpling.
Exactly.
It's not our styling.
It's not the real deal, right? It has to be the real deal. So we're really excited for persons to come and get their produce before the Easter holiday weekend. I forgot that it was Easter holiday weekend, truth be told. I really did. I was reminded that this is going to be a short week. because of course the holiday is coming up. So we want you to quickly get your stuff at the Agri-Easter night market on Wednesday. It starts at 5 p.m. and it runs until 10 p.m. So that's important.
All right, definitely. And well, we talked about fish before. We're at the stage now where Petula.
Yes.
Look at Petula go. Come on. You're going to let us know what we're doing here. Petula is going to demonstrate how we can grind fish.
So we can make some fish patties for the...
And Shira's going to...
Oh, yes. I'm going to tell you all about that. But first, our gloves.
Yes,
okay?
safety first.
So I'll make sure you get your gloves. So this is for you.
Thank you.
This is for you.
Thank you.
Get your gloves on. And this is for me.
We are...
Gloving up.
Somehow somebody heard me say that I don't cook. And so they keep bringing, you know, food on.
Oh, so you think that's what it is?
Sushi.
So you think that's what it is?
I think that they're trying to communicate something to me.
Yeah, we're gonna have the sushi.
Kortensia, was it you?
Guilty conscience.
Maybe
there?
it could just be me.
This is going to be one of my favorite parts, I believe, of this segment. Not because we get to, you know, play around a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Because I am a fish lover at heart. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight was the fact that at the Bastia Public Market, we actually get to showcase what the Bastia Fisheries has in store. Most recently, we received some equipment from the Japanese, and that donation has actually now given the Bastia Fisheries the extra oomph that they needed to turn the fresh fish into value-added products. These value-added products include your fish steaks, your fish burger patties. You know, before you could just go and buy your fish. Oh, I need snapper. I need this filleted. I need mahi-mahi. But now you could actually go and ask for fish sticks.
Yeah.
So for persons like myself, yeah, that was really exciting to me because now I don't have to go and buy produce from the store. The patties that is frozen, you know, it's fresh. As soon as it's done, you get it, it's packaged right away. And Petula here, we call her special. Yes. So she's going to actually demonstrate how this is done. So you want to go right ahead? Let's make sure that everything is nicely connected and ready to go. Good to go? Yeah. Okay, very good. So she's going to show us exactly how this machine works.
Okay.
This is our little grinder. Well, it's a big grinder, but...
And what type of fish are we using? Mahi-mahi. Okay.
Petula, you're going to have some fun, aren't you? I think this is the fun part for you. Yeah. She gets to grind, guys.
I know, but it's the end result of what comes out on the end. And just the smell. Like, I know, you know, the association of stinky with fish is common, but not with this. It really isn't. Oh, nice. So let's see. There we go.
Nice.
Look at that. So I know you've heard of beef patties.
Yeah.
Ground beef. Now we have ground fish.
So now I definitely have to, I normally just pass the fisheries and don't think anything much of the fisheries, but now I really have to stop and get my patties from the fisheries.
Exactly. Because we use this to make our patties, our meatballs, whatever it is that you want to do with it. You could get it packaged already, you know, ready to go. Oh man, Petula, you're making me hungry here.
I know.
And the best part about it is you guys actually get a turn to actually put your own pieces in. She's going to show you. Yes, so when you clean, you do that right there.
Oh,
nicely cleaned.
Yeah,
fresh meat.
I cannot wait to get her hands on it.
I'm telling you. So can you imagine? You get your fish like this, and there are no added chemicals whatsoever, no preservatives. The fish is caught by our local fishermen. They take it to the Bastia Fisheries Complex, and this is the only process that it goes through.
Nothing added to preserve it.
Nothing added to preserve
Flip a switch and you're good to go, right?
Yes. You want to step up? It's your turn, JB.
Okay,
Come on.
Let's see how special I am.
Let's see. I mean, it's not like it's an oven.
But, you know, we'll see. We'll see if I can redeem myself. I think I needed a sixth finger for this glove. Kortensia saw it.
I know, I saw it. Definitely did.
All right. So I can put in, I don't want to overwhelm it, right? That's okay. So this is perhaps a little, that's good enough. And then I can turn it on.
So you turn that button right there.
On.
Oh,
There you go.
There we go. Look at that. Yeah, so you.
No. You put in more meat.
Put more in. Okay, there we go. So you get your pieces.
Oh, this is a big one.
There we go. That's chunk. Ooh, now we're talking.
Kortensia, I'm not having all the fun.
You step up and take your turn.
Yeah, I look for chunky pieces.
Yes.
I'm officially a meat grinder.
That's a very smart. Get a nice big chunk in there.
Chunky.
How do you like your patties? Do you like thick patties? Do you like them soft?
Maybe I can work with a
thin piece.
Right in between.
Okay.
Right.
How do you like your patties? Thin. Well, guess what? It doesn't even matter because when you grind it like this, the texture is always perfect. Always perfect.
So that's enough, or I need to put
Come on, give us another piece. Give us one more. We have what, about 4 burgers here? Not even, maybe 3.5.
Okay.
There we go. Nice. Okay. Very good.
That's a lot of noise, Kortensia. You're making noise now.
I know.
It's music to
maybe we
Fatila's
should
ears.
use this to clean it.
Oh, so you must do that.
Yeah.
Is it too late, while we're on the topic, to register for the Agri Night Market?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you have not yet registered for the Agri Easter Night Market, you still have a chance. This is your final chance, obviously, because the night market is tomorrow. So we want to make sure that you understand that you could still hurry up and run to the Department of Agriculture or the Ministry of Agriculture, that's 3rd floor government headquarters, and also at the Bastia Public Market, where you could get forms to register with your items. If you have eggs and sweet potatoes and whatever it is that you have to sell, we want to make sure that you get on board right away and sign up to be a part of the Agri Easter Night Market.
Absolutely. It's been our pleasure having you both here. Thank you for making me a fish grinder and soon to be a fish packer. But surely if you need help, you know where to go, right?
Yeah.
Just come and call me. All right.
Oh, just before I forget, I wanted persons to understand before I, most importantly, because we just actually launched our products. We have now priced these products, and if you want minced meat like this, it's $18 per pound at the Bastia Fisheries. So make sure that you go, you ask for your fish sticks, your fish burger patties, you ask for your fish balls, and your minced meat. Okay? Yes.
Yes. Love the development. Thank you, Cher. Thank you, Fatula. It's been our pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Of course, gotta use the name now. If I see my colleague special, you know where I got it. All right, so I want to thank you guys for joining us here for this edition of Good Morning SKN. And we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned. Well, apparently
we're not going to be back. This is the end of it.
Until tomorrow. So
this is where we say thank you for joining us today. We will remind you to follow us.
Yeah.
Like.
There you go. Follow us on our social media platforms. So there is Twitter, there is TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook. There is all that stuff going on. And even TikTok. There's so much stuff going on, I tell you. You just need to follow us. And yeah, you'll be satisfied.
So leave us a comment and tell us what topics and guests you'd like to see next. And this is where we say see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, guys.